فلسطین همونجوری که در ویدیو مشاهده می‌کنید. حامیان حماس و فلسطین همونجوری که در ویدیو مشاهده می‌کنید افتاد روی زمین به خاطر
Riot police took a strong stance against the Islamic demonstrations, requesting an Islamic caliphate, an institution of Sharia laws in Australia.
They come here to protest against anti-war, so presumably anti-violence. The only way I can describe them is a bunch of hypocrites. And I'll call them protesters for lack of a better descriptor, but 39 criminals have been arrested.
The Islamic protesters took to the street chanting chants like Allahu Akbar and Lala Lala chants we often hear when they are requesting an Islamic state and Sharia laws. But the Australian army stood against this and began arresting most of those wanting to institute another culture, laws and norms in a country that is not theirs.
افراد باعث خشم مردم استرالیا شدن و بیانیه دادن شهروندان استرالیایی که این افراد باید دیپورت بشن.
Many people wish the Australian army continues standing against these people till date. But can it really happen? As the government seems to be nurturing them more and more. This was really a sad and disgusting act by these people. Many people are tired of seeing all these things in the UK, Australia, Canada, Germany and the whole West. You can't come to Australia and begin requesting for Sharia laws. That can't work. Before we delve into the full details, if you've not already, subscribe to our channel and ring the bell for more video. You won't see this in the mainstream media.
Stop! 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 Everyone move back! Everyone move back! Everyone move back! Let go! Let go! Can everyone move back? Move back! Everyone move back! Move back!
In recent years, Australia has witnessed significant tensions surrounding cultural integration and the expression of religious and political beliefs. One notable incident involved a large demonstration by Islamic protesters advocating for the establishment of an Islamic caliphate and the implementation of Sharia law within Australian borders. This protest sparked a strong response from the Australian riot police, highlighting the complexities of managing diverse cultural expressions in a nation that values freedom of speech while also prioritising social cohesion and national security. The demonstrations featured chants such as Allahu Akbar and various other slogans commonly associated with calls for Islamic governance. These expressions, while rooted in religious significance, have often been interpreted in the political context as demands for a system of governance that contradicts Australia's secular laws and democratic principles. The protesters aim to draw attention to their desires for a political and legal framework that aligns more closely with their religious beliefs, culminating in a call for an Islamic state. However, such demands raised eyebrows among many Australians, who perceive these actions as a challenge to the country's established legal and cultural norms. The sight of protesters calling for Sharia law in a nation that prides itself on its democratic values and legal system was met with a mixture of concern, outrage and debate. In response to the protests, the Australian riot police took a firm stance. Their actions included the arrest of numerous individuals involved in the demonstrations, emphasising the government's commitment to maintaining public order and security. The police response was not merely a reaction to the protests, but also a reflection of broader societal concerns regarding cultural integration and the potential for radicalisation. Many Australians applauded the police for their decisive actions, viewing it as a necessary measure to uphold the rule of law and protect the country's democratic framework. The presence of law enforcement during such demonstrations serves to reassure the public that the government is taking proactive steps to prevent any potential escalation of tensions or violence. Public sentiment surrounding the protests was deeply divided. On one hand, there were those who supported the rioting police's actions, arguing that Australia should not accommodate demands that contradict its core values. Many Australians expressed frustration over what they perceived as an encroachment of foreign ideologies into their society. The notion that individuals could come to Australia and demand the implementation of Sharia law was seen by many as unacceptable. Conversely, there were voices advocating for a more nuanced understanding of the situation. Some argued that the protesters were expressing legitimate religious beliefs and that the government should foster dialogue instead of confrontation. This perspective emphasises the importance of respecting diverse cultural expressions while also ensuring that they do not undermine the fundamental values of Australian society. The protests in Australia are part of a larger global discussion regarding cultural integration and the challenges posed by immigration. Countries such as the UK, Canada, and Germany have faced similar issues as they grapple with the realities of increasingly diverse populations. The rise of populism and anti-immigrant sentiment in various parts of the West has further complicated these discussions, leading to heightened tensions between communities. The challenge lies in finding a balance between respecting individuals' rights to express their cultural and religious beliefs, while ensuring that those expressions do not infringe upon the rights and safety of others. The Australian government's response to these protests reflects a broader struggle to navigate these complexities. As the Australian government continues to grapple with these issues, questions arise about the future of societal cohesion. Will the government adopt a more inclusive approach that encourages dialogue and understanding among diverse communities, or will it take a harder stance against expressions seen as incompatible with Australian values? Many citizens hope that the recent actions by the Australian police mark a turning point in addressing these challenges. The desire for a cohesive society that respects diversity while upholding democratic principles is a sentiment shared by many. However, the effectiveness of the government's approach remains to be seen. The protests advocating for an Islamic caliphate and Sharia law in Australia highlight significant cultural tensions that require careful consideration and response. While the actions of the Australian riot police were aimed at maintaining order, they also underscore the complexities of navigating a multicultural society. As discussions continue, it is crucial for all parties involved to engage in constructive dialogue aimed at fostering understanding and respect. In a world that is increasingly interconnected, the ability to coexist peacefully while honouring diverse beliefs is paramount. Ultimately, the path forward will depend on a collective commitment to finding common ground and nurturing a society that values both diversity and unity. As we reflect on these events, it is essential to remain vigilant and engaged in discussions about the future of our communities. The Australian experience serves as a reminder of the ongoing challenges we face in balancing cultural expression with societal values, and the importance of working together to create a harmonious future.
We are doing everything that we can to let these delegates know that we don't want this conference to take place here in the city, and we want to make it uncomfortable for them to come here and sign $1 million contracts to basically sell weapons.
Put your hands behind your back!